Maybe y'all missed. Y'all didn't miss the thumbnail, did you? Here we are, the thumbnail. I love music. I said, man, let me do this show. I know I did a show on music, but it was a 50th anniversary of hip hop, right? And I gave you my example of my top 50 rappers. But what I didn't do, or get to do, was talk about just music, period. That was an influence on me, right? There were certain albums or certain songs in my youth, in my time growing up, that really, really influenced me. And so, with that being said, I wanted to share that with you guys, right? I wanted to share those memories with you. And with those memories, I could remember certain things about my childhood, right? So, for example, I remember back in the days when I was in high school. I want to say my junior senior year. I used to have the realistic Walkman. Some of y'all may not be old enough to even remember that. Some of y'all may remember that. Else, I might just be showing my goddamn age. I don't know. But back in the days, I had a realistic Walkman that I got from Radio Shack. Radio Shack's not even around. He's been around. Damn, I don't know when the last time I seen a Radio Shack. But I had a realistic Walkman I got from Radio Shack. Had the realistic headphones as well. I mean, these are big ones. You know what I'm saying? They look like I used to call them my DJ headphones. But they was loud, huh? Just like the realistic Walkman. It was loud, it was banging. Even had a little equalizers. You couldn't tell me nothing. Had the equalizers on the cassette player. I was still holding on to the cassettes because I couldn't afford the CDs, because at the time, when they first come out, CDs was expensive when they first came out. So I was still holding on to cassette, and I had my realistic cassette player, right? I'm on the bus, the school bus, banging it out. Listen to my realistic one, and you know what I'm listening to? I'm listening to the Jackson 5. Now, this was 93, 94, right? Senior in high school. If y'all know anything about the Jackson 5s, they was out in the 60s. So that was like 30 years. I had the Jackson 5's greatest hits. Huh? What y'all know about that? I'm listening to that on the way to school. They look at me like I'm crazy. Like, man, Hank, what you listening to? Oh, man, I got that Jackson 5. See, back in the days, if you had something good, cats want to hear it. Let me listen for a little while. But guess what they didn't want to hear? They didn't want to try to hit little Jackson 5. They want to say, Hank, man, let me listen to headphones for a minute and listen to Jackson 5. No, they didn't want to hear that. At least the hard ankles did. Now, some of the ladies, they was okay with it. Look, let me tell you this. I was the type of kid that I listened to more R&B than I did rap. I'm just going to be honest with you. I listened to more R&B music, slow jam. Huh? I listened to more slow jam when I was growing up than I did the rap. Now, I'm not saying I didn't like the rap music. I did. But I would listen to more R&B than rap. I remember my aunt had this, the Temptations, and around the holiday time, Merry Christmas by the Temptations. Christmas be long gone, I'm still banging that out. It was just me. That was me. And that's what I like to listen to. So some of those things, like I said, was very influential. I remember an old Isaac Hayes album. And you know how I remember it? It was my mom's favorite album. Because it had a chocolate chip cookie on the front. A chocolate chip cookie that was bitten out of. It was on the inside. If you look on the inside of the album cover, it was a chocolate chip cookie. And I think Isaac Hayes was on it with a cookie in his hand on his album cover. Black Moses. What y'all know about Black Moses? See, y'all know about that. But see, memorable things like that I remember. Let me tell you this. My first album that I ever purchased, that I bought with my money, was New Edition. Cool It Now. You know how they got that album? Because my mama got tired of me messing her albums up. Because, you know, when I first, you know, started seeing DJ scratching, I'm thinking, I got a turntable. I could scratch and cut on the... So you couldn't tell me nothing. I thought I was Jazzy Jeff in there cutting, you know what I'm saying, scratching and mixing it up. That's what I thought. So I'm man, look. She had an album, man. I forgot who it was. It might have been Herbie Hancock's album. Brother AP, man, good to see you, brother. It's been a minute, but glad to see you here. I think it was at Herbie Hancock. Y'all remember Herbie Hancock? Remember that video where that mannequin would come up and it would mix? Do 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 do. Man, I got that. I seen that video. I got that out. Started scratching it. Thought I was cut. I was scratching the album, all right. I was scratching that goddamn thing up. My mama whooped my ass. I got my ass whooped scratching it and cutting up on that album, huh? That album was skipping. That album ain't been right since. My mom said, you gonna stay off my albums. But you know, I really didn't get hip to the R&B music until late. You know, I know like a lot of people might have got hip when they came out to create. Well, it wasn't till my parents got divorced. Because whenever I rode with my dad, the only thing we listened to is gospel and talk radio. that's all I listened when I was in my dad's car. You know what I'm saying? Gospel music and talk radio. That was it. That's all I heard him listen to. We got a reminiscence song when we got to church. When I heard people, you know, rolling up in church, when they weren't always playing gospel music. When they rolled up in church, they were playing other music. You know what I'm saying? Of course, that was during a time when it was cool to have that system. You know what I'm saying? Bang, it would sound like a gorilla trying to get out of the trunk type music. That's the only time I got something other than gospel and, you know, sports radio talk and talk radio and all that. When somebody's rolling up and they had it, maybe after church, you know what I'm saying, somebody on the way out, he was allowed to get to hear more. But that was it, you know. And of course, I'm talking about in elementary days, right? It wasn't until my parents got divorced, all of a sudden, my mom had this whole collection of R&B music hidden. All of a sudden, she was free. She broke that shit out. I'm like, damn, where'd this come from? But I used to play the shit out of that. We had this red, cheap ass record player. Had 2 cassettes, a turntable, and speakers that you detach from the stereo. I think we got that shit from Kmart or something like that. I don't know where we got it. I think it was cheap as hell. Thinking back on it, had about 3 equalizers. Look here, my Walkman, my realistic Walkman put out more sound than that damn stereo did. But look, that's all I had. That's all you could deal with. I remember when she let that stereo go and we got the boom box, right? Huh? My man AP said the very first album I ever bought with my own money was Tupac, Me Against the World, 1995. I know that's right. Now, AP, my first rap album that I ever bought was Eric B. and Rakim, Paid in Full. Now, I was in high school when I bought that first rap album. You know, my mom wasn't really letting us listen to no rap for real. You know, like I said, it was during that time where it started to get a little, bad where the words got a little graphic, and my mom wasn't really doing that. But that was my first rap album that I bought myself. And at the time, that was when they start to put, you had to be 16 to get these certain albums. So I wasn't able to get a lot of rap albums, but even then I was into R&B. I was an R&B cat, man. I listened to, man, I listened to a lot of old school Marvin Gaye, the Dramatics, the Dales, the Manhattans. I was in Confunction. That was all me. That's what my mama had. I know I told this story before. I used to hate Sade. Why? Because I know when Sade was about to be played, it's time to clean up. We cleaning the house. Sade's on. That means it's Saturday morning, and I'm out there cleaning baseboards. I'm sweeping out the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? I'm mopping. We taking out trash. We doing spring cleaning. You know what I'm saying? We back in the day, we had to go out there and beat the rug. Couldn't afford to take it to the cleaners. You have to beat it with a broom, throwing it over the fence. Oh shit! I'm just saying, man. That was mine. That was my experience. My wife said my first album correction tape cassette was Bobby Brown, I Need a Girlfriend. Woo! Shout out to Bobby Brown. Don't be cruel. See, I wasn't hip to the first Bobby Brown. I was hip to Don't Be Cruel album. My Prerogative. See, my wife is a little older than me. She hates when I say that. She's a cougar. She wanted her a young man. But no. So with that being said, look, I'm going to go down some memory lanes. I was going to play some of these songs, but man, we know how YouTube is. They don't like that. They don't like. Now, who won't be calling me doing my damn show, man? They don't like that. But look here, I can't help. We're going look. I'm not gonna play it long, but we're gonna have to sample some of these. Some of these I'm gonna have to take y'all back with it, huh? Y'all understand what I'm talking about? Mahalia Jackson, I know that's right. Now, see, when I went on my grandfather's house, he was more of a blues guy. Huh? I got a lot of blues when I was over with him, and he dabbled in the country music a bit, as well as a little bit of the jazz. That was my grandfather's genre. Grandmother really didn't do the music thing too much, at least as far as I know. She was listening to whatever granddad listened to while we was going to the grocery store or going shopping or doing whatever. Whatever was on radio, he put on, that's what we listened to. He used to have this old van, boy. That bad boy still played 8 tracks. Y'all know the van I'm talking about. They had the couch bed in the back with the refrigerator on the side, with the air conditioning unit in the window. Y'all know what kind of van I'm talking about. Look at this. He should have listened to Mahalia Jackson. Bless his young heart. Bless him. His delinquent heart. Oh, Lord. I'm just saying. But look here. I'm going to go through a memory lane with you guys, and I'm going to just present a few albums that really influenced my childhood. And it depends on who you ask. It might have influenced me in a negative way. Like this album right here. Y'all see this album? See that? If y'all can't see that, and y'all don't know who that is, that's EU. That's that go-go music. You know what song I'm about to play. Yeah. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all remember watching School Days when they play this? Okay, that's it. That's it. I won't do too much. YouTube will get me. You don't do too much. But y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Huh? See, I'm a butt guy. And when this song came on, and when I seen that movie, them chicks in the biker shorts with the big old donkey backsides, boy. Boy, look here. I'm just saying. Uncle Tom, what's going on, big brother? Glad to see you over here. I used to listen to that boy back in the days, man. Chick had biker shorts. You couldn't tell me anything. Let me tell you this. I'm going to go as far. The girls who had the yellow and the pink biker shorts, they had me sold. Huh? They had me sold back in the day. They was an influence, and I can't say they was a good influence on me back in the day. That album was not a good influence. That movie alone wasn't a good influence. Because see, back in the days, I was a fan. The dark-skinned women got me. Huh? The light-skinned ones, it was okay. I ain't gonna front. But I had a thing for the dark-skinned sisters. So when them dark-skinned sisters was going against Tisha Campbell there, I was cheering for the dark-skinned sisters. I'm just saying. He said, yes, sir. I got a notification. Well, Tom, brother, I'm glad you got a notification. Shame on YouTube for not letting my guy know, Uncle Tom. Man, but YouTube do better. If you know better, you'll do better. But I'm glad you're here, my brother. I promise you I am. AP said Hinkson. He's messiest. God, I didn't realize I was that messy, AP. I'm just saying. Back in the days, when you heard that song come on, I remember hearing it on the radio. We at the park. Look, we got a park right here called Shiny Park. And they had little concerts down here called Summerfest. Man, they put that song on, boy, the girls got out on the dance floor. Some girls know they ain't got no backside. They had them flat booty backside. They was out there shaking a little flat ass. I said, I know that's right, girl. Shake your little fine ass. I mean, shake what your mama gave you. If that's what she gave you, that's what she gave you. You shake it till you can't shake it no more. Hey, had a good time. Had a good time. Well, like I said, girls in them pink and them yellow bikers, whoo, they was different. The bamboo earrings, huh? With the bob, y'all know what I'm talking about. They had the bobs. Some had on the side, even had a couple lines in the head. Huh? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all remember Salt and Pepper? Huh? Remember Pepper had a couple, two lines in the head, like the Michael Irvin stripes? That's what they had. With the pink biker shorts, with the big old sunglasses and the bamboo earrings, the door knocker earrings. Man, come on now. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Let me keep this thing going. Let me look here. Let me keep this thing going. Y'all ain't gonna have me keep on talking in my heathenist ways. And for some reason, my camera's blurry. What the hell is going? Hold on, give me a second, guys. Give me a second. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. Yeah, we gotta get that together. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Look at her. I was shaking my little ass shiny park puller. You pulled on the stage doing it, but don't tell on yourself. Don't tell on yourself. Let's keep going, man. Let's look here. Another song that was a influential part of time of my life I can remember. Y'all remember when they was raising money for the little kids in Africa? They was trying to feed the babies. You know what I'm saying? You know them kids where they show you on TV where the little African boys had flies on their face. You know, you be like, swat them things, get them right away your face. Well, they had a collective together, and I don't know if y'all got the opportunity, but if you ever watch, if y'all got Netflix, check out the Netflix the night that they was able to do that album, and it was this album, We Are the World. Guys, that was a big influential, because I'm like, 15 cents say you could feed a whole family. Like, God damn, 15 cents? You can't get shit around here for 15 cents, but they could feed the whole family. You know, I was poor. I ain't have nothing. We ain't have shit. I'm like, somebody need to get us 15 cents so we can feed my family. I'm hungry. I'm waiting for that commodity box to come on in the first of the month with that powdered milk and that orange juice with the white label, with the Chex cereal and the sugarless orange juice. Y'all know what I'm talking about. With the government cheese, it used to make a hell of a grilled cheese sandwich. I'm just saying, man. But with that being said, speaking of cheese, my man AP came through with the $10 super chat. He said, I'm going to break you off some cheese, my brother. Here you go. He said the contribution to the platform. My first album I brought was Last Night by AZ. I love these conversations. Reminiscing. There's something about music. AP, you already know. But brother, you didn't have to. You chose to. And I appreciate the blessings. Thank you, sir. But let me say this. I remember hearing We All the World. I'm like, man, they got everybody on this album. Half the people I didn't even know. At the time, I didn't know who Willie Nelson was. I didn't know who Bob Sager was. I knew about Kenny Rogers because I remember him in a movie called The Gambler. So I knew about him. And once I knew about Cyndi Lauper, I said, man, hold on. I see her. She was on WWF. She was, I don't know. Look, Lou Albino. That was her daddy in the Girls Just Want to Have Fun video. I didn't know if that was a real daddy. I thought it was a real daddy. And I said, damn, I see the dad. And then she came out. She was at a wrestling. I said, I thought she was a groupie full of wrestlers. I didn't know she was a singer, but she had that distinguished voice, that high-pitched, annoying, high-pitched voice. And I just remember her part. Well. Look, don't get me started. Don't. My wife gonna be saying, you can't say, you need to stop that. I can say, I'm good. Trey, you know what I'm talking about. Don't play. Y'all remember, man, I'm telling y'all, remember that back in the days. Hey, P, don't you start. Now, if you're going to talk shit to me, you got to at least talk shit to me in the super chat. He said Hink's old ass was at the first Freaknik. No, my Freaknik memories, I didn't get to make it. We was on the way down there one time, but my man's car went down the day before, so we didn't get to go. So I never got the opportunity again to attend the Freaknik. Never got that opportunity. I always heard stories about it. I always got to live through other people's stories, but I never got the opportunity to go to Freaknik. And when it rose again, they was done away with it. So I didn't get the opportunity to participate. I wanted to. I'm telling you, AP, we was on the way down there. If my man's car didn't go out, couldn't go. That thing was running hot. We've been filling up. Look here. Speaking of running hot, this same dude's car went out on us when we was on the way home back here to Louisville, and we was at Murray State. Normally it takes about 3.5 hours, right? Normally that drive takes about 3.5 hours from Murray to Louisville. Man, that drive took us 6 hours because we had this man's car was running hot and the radio had a hole in it. We pouring hot. We stopping probably every 25 miles to fill it up with water. We had about 4 gallons of water in the trunk. And then when we stopped at a gas station, we filled the bottles up and kept it going until we got all the way to Louisville. Now, of course, we got the car fixed while we was in Louisville, but we didn't know no mechanics while we was at Murray. So we had to do what we had to do. We made it. About 6.5 hours later, we made it. Boy, that takes me back, boy. I'm just saying. So, We Are the World was another influential song that was really influenced me. But let me go to this next one here. This next album, man, I didn't, it was a couple albums I didn't realize these guys was white guys singing songs. I thought they was brothers. I got about 3 albums in here I'm gonna show y'all that I thought was brother, but they white guy. And this one right here, I like this album. And it was kind of smooth, and that's when MTV was around. But of course, we didn't have cable. We didn't have cable. But my neighbor, probably about 3 houses down, had cable, and we would go over his house. He had a Nintendo. It's one of them kids that had all the toys. You know what I'm saying? He had all the toys. We used to go over, hang out, play with his toys. He had the G.I. Joes. He had the Transformers. He had the Nintendo. He had all the latest and greatest toys. Well, I remember we over there, we watching MTV. And this was, when Yo MTV Raps first came out. But before Yo MTV Raps first came out, we we had to watch other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we kept it on MTV. And one of the artists that came on was this guy, Christopher Cross. Right? Christopher Cross, man, had that song called Sailing. I thought that was a brother. I thought that was a brother singing that song, man. I said, man, hold on. Hold on, man. Man, I like this. So that's when I got turned on to what they call yacht rock, huh? That soft rock, guys like Kenny Loggins, Michael McDonald's, Average White Band, Christopher Cross was another one. Was another guy that I would listen to. We used to call Kenny Loggins king of the soundtracks. That dude was on every soundtrack out. Footloose, Top Gun. It wasn't a soundtrack he wasn't on. Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2. I think he was on the second one as well. He had a song on there. Another one, Scared Running. Michael McDonald was on there too. We used to call him king of the soundtracks because he was on every soundtrack you could think of that was out back then. Look at my wife with this. 4 hours to Louisville, America. Well, ma'am, it took us 6.5 because we had that car was running hot. That radiator was leaking. I mean, it was leaking. But let me not go any further. Before I recognize the super tag, well, man, AP. Shout out to AP for the $5 super tag. He didn't have to. He chose to. And I appreciate the blessings. Thank you, sir. He said, he know how heckle he ain't. Freaknik was all about the hip hop culture. Man, yes, it was. And I hated that I didn't get to go. Man, I promise you, I would have been down there. Huh? I probably would have had a different story to tell. I'm just saying. So speaking of guys who I thought was brothers, when I first heard them, but they wasn't. This guy right here, Bobby Caldwell. Now, some of y'all probably just found out just yesterday that Bobby Caldwell was a white guy who was singing this song. Don't act like y'all don't know what I'm talking about. Don't act like y'all do not know what I'm talking about. That Bobby Caldwell, what you won't do, I'll do for love. You'll find everything. What you won't do. Let me stop. I'm just saying, man. Back in the days when I heard that song, but see, what kind of confused me, they played it on the black stations. So I just assumed he was a brother. It wasn't until I got into high school when I found out he wasn't. Now, I found that out in high school. But I'm talking about in the 80s when I first heard to him. I was probably about 85, 86. I was probably about 9 or 10 years old. And I heard him. Like I said, they played him on the black stage. So I thought he was a brother. I didn't know. Speaking of another brother, I thought was a brother. Hall and Oates. Daryl Hall and John Oates. When I heard Sarah Smile, I thought that was a brother. Huh? I thought that was a brother. Man, sounds so smooth when he sung Sarah Smile. But you know something? When I found out, I said, Hall and Oates, man, that brother sound good. But it wasn't like I said, when I was over my man's house, we was over watching MTV. doom, 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 doom. And they play that Man Eater. Hall & Oates. I said, man, I thought that was mad. Again, Sarah Smile got played on the black stations. At least in my city. I don't know about y'all city. My city, they play Sarah Smile. So I assume everybody, look, let me say, I assume everybody they played on the black station was black. Only person I knew they weren't black was Vanilla Ice. He's only him and the Beastie Boys and Third Base. Y'all remember Third Base? My man Search. That was it. Those are the ones I knew they was white guys. But the rest of them, I thought they was. I didn't know. He said Nintendo. That's how I know you from the real South. Look here, man. AP, I've been corrected on it many times. Nintendo. I know. Nintendo. I say it with the N. Nintendo. But I'm old country boy. We said Nintendo. AP, go to hell. You're not gonna keep making fun of me like this. You're not. From the dirty. Shout out to the South, baby. I love the South. But man, I seen that. I said, man, look here, man. I thought that was a brother. But man, I please believe you me. I had to do some research on these guys. And it come to find out I like damn near every song they put out. So you know your boy had to get the best of. I had to get the best of Hall & Oates. Had to add it to my collections. So let me say all of these albums and songs that was able to influence me, I got every album. Every album. There's probably only a couple albums that I don't have that I was influenced by some of the songs. But please believe you me, I'm going to get them. I'm going to get them. When they get re-released or something, I'm going to get them. You know, I don't know if y'all noticed on my thumbnail, I put a lot of places. So for those who may be interested, who's, you know, interested in getting some, maybe some albums, are you still in cassettes, 8 tracks, vinyl? I'm into vinyl. I got a few CDs. Let me take it back. I got a lot of CDs. My wife said I need to put them book of CDs up. I got them. Y'all remember them old school binders with the sheets? You slide them, you slide it either CD, DVD, or whatever in. I got those. I probably got about 10 books filled. Let me say this, 10 and a half. I got 10 and a half books. I got half of books that's got music. Filled with CDs. I'm just saying. I got props. But there's like a couple places I like to find my my music. So one of the places I use now, probably more so than ever, it's called Whatnot. Now, Whatnot is an app. It's an app. It's like an auction, right? It's like an auction, a live auction online, and they go through PayPal. That's how you pay for your stuff. They usually go through PayPal. Of course, PayPal is connected to your banks and all that. But I usually use that. Amazon's pretty good. eBay's pretty good. Discog, I use that, but Discog is really, it's expensive because you not only get the albums from locally in the state, you get some from out of state, you know, different countries, the UK, They got them Japanese pressings. Now with these with Trump with the terrorist thing, I don't know how that's going to affect. I might not be shopping on Discogs no more, especially if I see one because I know I'm gonna want it. But if I got to pay for them terrorist charges on top of my man, I'm gonna be pissed because they already expensive. I mean, I'm seeing albums. It's costing me more to ship the album than the actual album. That's how crazy it is right now. Well, not right now. It's been like that for a while. That's before Trump got in office. So that's a different subject. But that if you do want to go on and look for like the hard to find albums, Discog is pretty good. Now, of course, Whatnot, you're bidding. And so, you can always stop wherever you feel like stop, or you don't feel comfortable, or they above your budget. You just don't mess with it. You just let it be. And my wife says I'm addicted to Whatnot. Shame on her, right? So I didn't order no albums this week. And I don't think I ordered none last week. But I still got one waiting still because shipping's been crazy. It's been behind due to the weather and, of course, the fires, because I got a lot of stuff from the West Coast. A lot of the people on Whatnots, they live in the West Coast, or the West Coast area between the, California area, the Washington area, and Oregon is got a lot of good places out in the West. I don't know why the West Coast got all the great albums. They got it seems they got all the stock of the good, like the '90s hip hop, early 2000 hip hops, and '90s R&B. A lot of my stuff comes from the West Coast. I got one guy that's out in the Virginia area. One's from North Carolina. They do pretty good. He usually has a good mix of music between classic rock and as well as R&B and funk and some of that old school hip hop. But most of my good buys came from most of my good buys came from the West Coast area. Shit. It's my man Rilla calling. I'm gonna have to call him back. But yeah, I really do a lot of business out that area. So right now, a lot of stuff being delivering a package from there is being held up. So I got like one package coming from that area. It's supposed to be due here Thursday. Hopefully they come on time. Hopefully it's not damaged or messed up. I haven't had no issues with them damaging my product. My albums are pretty good, spot on. Usually, if you ever shop on Whatnot, they got other stuff besides just albums. They sell collector's items, cards, purses. Matter of fact, they got some people who sell stuff they get from Walmart. You know what I'm saying? Action figures and Funko Pops. They got those. They got those on Whatnot too. But yeah, you just find a lot of jewelry, purses, tennis shoes, period. Anything you think of selling, they sell it on Whatnot. So if y'all ever interested in doing something, go check it out. It's a pretty good app. It's a pretty good app. No Chaser, what's going on, big brother? AP said, but brothers don't listen to brothers don't listen to Sinatra. Shame on you. My grandfather would. He listened to him. Old blue eyes. My man AP said, I got quite a bit of vinyl as well. My most loved are my 2 Sinatra albums. I know that's right. Let's see. I got a couple albums that I really put a lot of stock into. One of them is my Master P, Ice Cream Man, and I have Project Pat. Those are probably 2 of my first hip hop albums that I that I like the most. My Michael McDonald album, the best of Michael McDonald. That's a hard album to find. That's a hard album. Yeah, yes, AP. I got them too on vinyl. I displayed them on my album of the week one time. Hold on. I think I got my Master P here. Hold on, let me find it. Yeah, here it is. So, AP, here's my Master P Ice Cream Man. That's one of the albums, my prize rap. Now, as far as my R&B, I got two of the R&B albums that I really love, that I really appreciate. One of them is this Marvin Gaye, I Want You. So if y'all can see this photo, that's the album cover. Y'all remember this photo? This photo from Good Times, right? That photo, if you look at that picture, that's like the silhouette from Good Times. Well, that's Marvin Gaye's album. That was his album cover. I Want You. The right way, and I want you to want me too. Just like I want you. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Let me stop. Shout out to my man AP for the $5 super chat. He didn't have to, he chose to. And I appreciate the blessings. Thank you, sir. He said, this is because you got that no limit on vinyl. Much respect. I appreciate, hey, AP, let me say this. It's hard. What? The thing about the vinyl collection now, are collecting vinyls and whatever the case may be. It's hard to get some of them that 90s rap because cats don't want to come up off of it. Cats do not want to come up off of it. Now, it depends on what you get. Now, some of these 90s raps, they did re-release it. I'm a fan of the OG pressing, right? That's me. Now, I will take a re-release one, and when a re-release, that's that one album when it's not black, it's the color. It's like, I seen one re-release of a P album, and it was like a color, like a white. So this Ice Cream Man album right here, that's original pressing. But the re-release, it will be that same album, cover and everything, but it'll be a white album. It will be white. That's what's the album. But I tell you where you can, if you interested in getting one, if you don't mind, if it's a re-release, it's a site called Get On Down. So these sites I'm sourcing you, they are legitimate sites. They are good. So you don't have to worry about, because look, please believe me, I ran into a couple scam sites and where I got ripped off and I had to call the bank, and of course they got my money back. It's insured. That's all good. But it's just a thought somebody rip you off. You know what I'm saying? I hate that. And you expecting it, then And I had a couple sites that I used. Man, they kept my stuff on back order. And Moy said, "Well, you need to go and cancel it." And I hated that I had to do it because the price they was gonna give it for me was too it was too good to pass up. But I waited 4 months. I said, man, I'm not gonna wait any longer, man. And so I ended up canceling, get my money back, and never got it in stock. I don't know what happened to it. I stopped using that site. I stopped ordering stuff. And I'm not even gonna mention that site because it's trash. It's not even worth mentioning. It's so trash, man. I hated it. But yeah, it's called Get On Down. If you look on my it's okay right there. It's right there beside the Def Jam Records. That's also another site you can use to to find albums that Def Jam put out, not just rap, but R&B and other music on there. But yeah, check it out if you interested in getting that Master P Ice Cream Man. It'll be a re-release, but it depends on your how you feel about re-releases. I prefer the old, like I said, I prefer the OG pressing. That's me. But that's just me being anal as a avid vinyl collector. But it is what it is. It is what it is. He said, I'm checking out their catalog now. Good looking. Yes, sir. No doubt, man. Anytime I can try to help a brother out, man, I'm going to definitely make sure I do that, man. If I got some information that I can share with you guys, it's going to help you benefit. Please believe me, I'm going to do that for you guys. So, yes, sir. Definitely check it out. Like I said, look, there's another one on here. Like I said, the Def Jam and Vinyl Box is another good one. That VMP is another, and that's called Vinyl Me Please. That's what the initials stand for. Vinyl Me Please. It's the initials for that VMP. That's another good site. Another one is that Omega. Omega auction. That's like another. It's something like what's not, but a little bit different. That's another good resource. And look at her. She keep promoting. Baby, we not in Texas no more. Now look, I don't know. My wife says Doc Records. I've never ordered anything from Doc Records. I know they do have a website that you can do it, but I've never did that before. It's a mom and pop shop in Dallas. So I've never ordered anything from them before, but I've been in there. So if you are in a Dallas area, the Fort Worth area, particularly the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Doc Records is a great resource for albums. So my wife's supposed to got me old Snoop Dogg and Dogg album and New Edition album from there. For some reason, she was too tired and didn't want to go back and get it, even though they had it on hold for her. And guess what? They sold it. And so I never got that. Now, I was mad at her for about a week. Because she let my daggone album slide. But it is what it is. It is what it is. She said, one of my favorite Marvin Gaye albums, I Want You. Come Alive with Me, Angel. Classic. I know that's right. I thought I was hot. I thought I was hot shit with that LL Prince on vinyl. Those Master P was had to be hard to come by. Yes, they was. Man, AP, when I say they hard to come by, yes. Look, I told my wife, I said, a lot of them albums from the 90s, because that was during that period when CDs was coming out. And when CDs started to come out, they didn't make as many albums, right? They just didn't. So they kind of start to tail off. Early 2000 R&B and rap, you be lucky you find anything on vinyl. And it's hard, and they gonna price it up. Speaking of vinyl, let's keep it going. So here's another one. Album that was another influential on me. I was a big fan of this group. I still am. And if y'all notice, I played the song I Love Music. Y'all know who this group is. Matter of fact, they influenced so much they even before my show comes on at the end of my intro, you heard one of my favorite songs by them, Backstabbers. And that's this great group called the OJs. I love this album. This album had a very, very influential album for me because I listened to the words. Yes, this is true. If you call my phone, you're going to be the backstabber ringtone. Now, I don't even know if it's cool to even have backstabber ringtone anymore. I have music as a ringtone. I still got it. I don't care. I'm old, and I admit that. Shout out to Travel One. I apologize I didn't acknowledge you, ma'am. Hope everything is well with you. Look at this. Mrs. Hink with the song for her choice of Valentine is on the horizon. So let me say this. If I had to play a song for my wife for Valentine's, it'll probably be Between the Whispers or Johnny Gill. That would probably be the two individuals that I would probably play for that she would like. You know. But it'd probably be more so Johnny Gill, my. That would probably be her go-to. Why? Because he say put on that red lipstick and that red dress. And red is her favorite color as far as her lipstick and all that. So that would be probably the song to go to, especially for Valentine's Day. You know what I'm saying? So that would probably be it, Travel One. But as far as speaking about red, let's keep it going. How about Simply Red? Now, Simply Red, I knew he was a white guy. I've never seen that song. I'm like, dude, that dude looks like he's pale, but he had this fiery red hair, holding back the ears. I'm like, but it's really nothing to the song, but it's kind of catchy, and I just started liking it. I just started liking it. I mean, nothing really special. Don't really have a lot of memories about it. I just remember hearing the song and it was just catchy to me, and I just liked it. I'm just saying. And AP, for some reason, wants to put the whole daggone my song in the comments. he, he's damn near singing a song. I know that's right. Let's keep it going. Oh my God, this album right here. Y'all may not know about this album right here. This Marvin Gaye album right here. It's called Midnight Love. But this album had probably one of the most influential Marvin Gaye songs that I ever heard. Hmm? Had one of the most influential songs, influential, God bless, most influential songs that I ever heard from Marvin Gaye. Now, I like that song. I like that song. But when you heard this song, you knew it was time. Sexual Healing. When I get that feeling, I want sexual healing. It's good for me. Hey, you heard that song? You know the party's about to get started. You know it's on. I'm just saying. You knew it was time when you heard that at Marvin Gaye's Sexual Healing. Look here. I got a couple more albums that had a vast influence on me. But I know I've been more so the soft rock, the R&B, but I need to take it back to the hip hop side, right, guys? And so one of my favorite rappers of all times is this guy right here. This guy right here, man, boy, knew how to get the party started, knew how to get the crowd riled up. And I remember I went to one of his concerts. It was at Freedom Hall. Now, Freedom Hall is where, I'm sorry, not Freedom Hall. It was at Louisville Gardens. Now, Louisville Gardens was always known in my city, the place where you always go see Tuesday night wrestling at the Garden. They used to have wrestling down at the Garden on Tuesday nights. But they also had other concerts. They also had like some basketball tournaments down there. But this place was the first time I ever seen this guy in concert. And one of the things he used to like to tell the people he used to tell the people was F you, Ice Cube. Now y'all know what I mean. Y'all know. That's what he used to tell. So he would his hype man would say, I want y'all to say F you, Ice Cube, and that's gonna get him going and get him hyped up. Now, when I first seen him, that was when America's Most Wanted album came out, of course. Great album. Love that album. But this album right here, this Death Certificate. Oh boy. That was the album. When you got this album, you knew you had something right there. And probably the most influential song on her, No Vaseline. One rapper killed out 4 dudes in one song. Now, of course, that wasn't the only song that I liked on her, but that was just one of many. You know what I'm saying? You also had Give It Up the Nappy Dugout. Colorblind was another good one. Steady Mobbing. You know, those was some influential songs, man. Back in the days when I listened to that hip hop, man. Another was that Look Who's Burning. What's the matter? You're burning? He said, stepped out my house, stopped short. What have I done stuck my... He said, I went to the free clinic. It was filled to capacity. He said, man, how bad could a piece of ass be? Shout out to Ice Cube. Death Certificate. Great album. Like I said, man, No Vaseline, boy, he ripped them. There wasn't no coming back from that. They was done. Put a fork in them. They done. Huh? AP said, those were 2 of the greatest diss track in history of hip-hop. Man. Exactly, AP. let me say this. Kendrick did do that. Wasn't no coming back for them. Ren, Dre, Easy, Yella, wasn't no coming back. I mean, Drake tried. I give him credit, he tried. Wasn't no coming back though. Wasn't no coming back from that. So that was another influential song that I used to listen to back in the days. And it's funny how it comes on. Oh yeah, it ain't over, motherfuckers. Hey, boy, you heard that, you knew it was on. Oh yeah, it ain't over, motherfuckers. And then he had a little clip, that punk ass Ice Cube. And then as it goes on, you start to hear him start saying, well, after Ice Cube left the group, they wasn't the same. And then you hear this little lady's voice, NWA ain't shit without Ice Cube. Just start laughing. Hey man, it was over. AP said, Easy had to go outside Bone Thugs and Harmony to recover from no Vaseline. Yeah. But it wasn't nothing they could gain. AP, we all know that song still goes hard. He said, he said, drop 4 ninjas now making all the dough. I said, God damn. He said, Easy, smelling like MC Ren shit. God damn, man. I said, well, he's vicious. And the fact that he said he had another one just in case if they wanted to come back. He had one in the can waiting for him. There wasn't no need to release it. He said he knew they was done. He put the dirt over the body after that no Vaseline. It was over. Well, no coming back. What can they say? Man, that's crazy. But look here, guys. This album right here, this last album I'm going to show you guys. Right? This album right here, last album I'm going to show you guys. This is one of the ones I had to catch the re-release, right? This is one of the ones I had to order. It was so hard to get. But I had to have his album. Because he had a lot of good songs on it, man. Man, this guy was a hell of an artist. This brother had, man, Ain't No Sunshine When It Rains, Lean on Me, Grandma's Hands, Use Me, Lovely Day. Hey, man, he had that song with Grover Washington Jr. Look, man, let me say this. This brother, man, you hear his voice, man, it was so strong, man, so distinct. You couldn't confuse it with nobody else. But man, when I would hear people just sample his songs, and one of my favorite rap groups used to sample his song, UGK. But I knew I had to have this album, though. I knew I had to have an album. And so I got it. Like I said, I had to order it. Went to my local record store. I said, man, I need to get the best of Bill Weathers. Now, AP, you remember what I told you how we really release? It's a color album. So that's what songs look like sometimes, right? So when the ones that like re-release, they not in the original black vinyl. They re-release them in the color album. That's a re-release, but I had to have it. I had to have it. And one of my favorite songs that Bill Weathers ever did, well, there was a couple of them, but my favorite one was "Use Me." He said, "I want to spread the news that if it feels this good getting used, boy, you just keep on using me until you use me up." I'm just, boy, hey, I might have to give y'all a sample. You two, don't do me bad. Don't do me bad, you two. But you know how YouTube is, man. Let me search it real fast. That man, I got this. Look, I got this song saved on my playlist. Had to have it on the playlist. That's a must. But here we go. I'm gonna give y'all a quick sample. Oh man, I thought you could hear it. You could hear that? Well, for those who didn't hear it, I know y'all seen it. Bill Weathers, "Use Me." Great album. Great album. I had to have. Even if I just got that song, man, I was content. I had it, but I knew they had some other great songs on it, but I had to make sure I get it. Had to make sure I had it. Had to make sure I had to add that to uh my man DJ Smoke said he heard it. I know that's right. DJ man, we just over here talking about good music, huh? We over here talking about good music, man. Look, when I started collecting vinyl, man, and especially in a serious start doing seriously, it just spread it like wildfire. Just spread it like wildfire, man. So right now I'm in the process of getting me a new record player. Just trying to find one. I want one with like the new school where it's got Bluetooth capability, but then I know if I do that, I'm sacrificing the old school classic sounds that I would get from the traditional turntables. So man, and it's kind of hard. Like in my city, there's not a lot of people selling like a lot of stereo equipment like that, right? I mean, you got your Best Buys. I got a couple spots, but man, ooh, they busting heads now. Uh, uh, one of my spots that I go get my collectibles from, my Funko Pops and action figures from, he told me about a nice little record store, music store, where they sell them old school equipment and all that. So I might have to go check that out one time. I might have to go check him out. But yeah, that's one of the things I want to do is get a new record player, man, for sure. Because it's nothing like a good old record player, man, right? With a nice little set of speakers. You know what I'm saying? Usually I sit in here, chill out. You know what I'm saying? I was like be on my deck outside smoking a cigar, just hanging out, listen to some good music while I'm on the grill. And see, so that's why I wanted with that Bluetooth capabilities, so I could take my portable speaker out there, connect it to my the one the record player I got now is got Bluetooth capability, so I do connect that to my record player. But I want a little bit more up to date, more with the more stable turntable. You know what I'm saying? Where it doesn't shake a lot. Where because once it's not level. I guess we got to put a needle on the record, as they used to say back in the days. Oh God, here she go. Yeah, blast me out of the bedroom with the loud speakers. There's nothing wrong with that. Man likes to have his moments. He could jam out, right? Y'all feel my pain. A man likes to rock out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Turn it up. Test the wattage on them speakers. I'm just saying. I like to do it every once in a while. But let me say this. When I started collecting vinyl, man, like I said, on a serious aspect, man, it just went like wildfire. The only thing about it, man, is there's a lot of good songs that I would love to have on vinyl you just can't find, man. It's hard. I mean, it's really hard, and it's it's one of those things, man. It's an addictive type of collective a collection thing to do. It really is. I'm not gonna front it is. You start going to places like in a couple of weeks, my wife and I are going to a record show on the 22nd. That's a couple Saturdays from now. Going to a record show we have here. And so supposedly they're going to invite some of the great record vendors from the South as well as the Midwest. The only thing about it, I don't have a lot of good record stores locally here. Let me take it back. They're good record stores. They just don't cater to the music that I like to listen to. So like a lot of the R&B, the hip hop, they don't have a lot of places here who has a lot of a big collection of that. They just don't. Now, the soft rock, the classic rock, some of the old school funk, they got all of that. Anything you want, they got that. But when I'm looking for the 90s R&B, you won't see a lot of that. The hip hop, they got some, but everything they got I already have. Right? So it's like, damn, I'm looking to go find something new. It's hard to find. I tell you what I was surprised on. I was able to get the October London album. I've been waiting for that thing for about a month or so. Was finally able to get a copy of it. So I got a copy of that. Like I said, a lot of stuff's hard, man. It's hard to get. But when I do see it, I got to jump on it. I can't let that say, I'll let it wait on it, maybe go down the price, or wait on it. Maybe they have a sale and I catch it then. I can't do that. Look, my record store I deal with, it's called Better Day East. So if you're ever in the Louisville area, Better Day East is a great resource as far as albums here locally in my city. he usually posts like he usually takes pictures about 20 albums. He usually posts it on his IG. So I follow him on IG, and so um, he usually posts his albums on there. I was able to catch up with him and got some great finds from him. That's how I got that October London. I was able to get that. Matter of fact, speaking of UGK, I was able to get that Riding Dirty from him as well. So every once in a while, man, he'll come up on the gym, man. I hate it because one of the times he got to know there's me and another guy in my city, man, that collects albums real heavy like me, real tough that I know of, brother. And I follow him on IG, man, and check out some of the stuff he has. But it's like me and him competing. It's like we competing for the same place, the same spot. And it's obvious a lot of the tastes he has, I have. You know what I'm saying? A lot of tastes I have, he has. So we fight for the same albums and stuff, man. And so there was a time, man, at the store, and I said I'm just gonna wait till lunchtime, and I'm gonna ride over and I'm gonna pick up that album. And I had to learn the hard way. I got over, it's gone already. I said, man, you just released it out about an hour ago. Yeah, somebody came and got it. I was so pissed. And it was that Big Daddy Kane, the first Big Daddy Kane. Man, I was so mad. I ended up having to get the album on Whatnot app and paying probably about, they were selling it at the record store that I normally go to for like $8, right? I had to get it off Whatnot app. It cost me $25. That was before shipping. I was so pissed. I said, man, damn it, I spent over extra $20 to get this album, and I could have had it for $8. But AP, that's what I be talking about. That's what ended up happening sometimes. Situations like that, you know what I'm saying? Situations like that where they you just out there, first come, first serve. It ain't like they got a whole lot of the Big Daddy Kane. He just had the one, and he displayed it, and somebody beat me to it. So it's one of those things, man. As soon as he release something, it comes out, I got to jump on it. I got to jump on it, and so that's how I got that October London. I was telling my wife when I was at the store, that was the first thing I walked over and I picked up. But there was a lady like probably following me right behind me, and I guess was hoping that I overlooked it. I passed it up and didn't see it because she definitely was going to grab it. When I grabbed it, I turned around, I looked up, I looked at her. She looked like she had a little scar on her face, like she was mad. And of course, I was still shopping, right? So when I shop, I like to put the album, right next to, because they got like stacks and stacks. So I like to put it down, and I don't like to keep it up on the market. I don't mess around and have the album slip out, even though he does have it in a plastic cover, the album sleeve. I still like to, I don't want to, mess around and album slip out or something like that, or drop out from under my arm and then crack and break the album, or nothing like that. I scratch it up. So I didn't want nothing like that to happen. So I always put it down beside me wherever I'm looking, and then I just go through, cipher through the albums, and then she seen me put it down, but she walked over like she was about to grab it. I said, "Oh shit, this little heifer trying to do something." You know what I'm saying? This little heifer trying to, she trying to get over. I said, "No, not today." So I wasn't really looking to shop for nothing else, and so I just went over, and I remember seeing that UGK, and I said, "Man, I hope it's still here," because I'm thinking he gonna have it on the wall like he had the October London. Normally, that's where he displays whatever he took a picture of. He usually displays on the wall. Well, he didn't have it on the wall. I'm like, damn, I bet little buddy beat me to it. And I'm cussing him out. He don't even know, but I'm cussing out. So I said, man, let me take a chance and go over here by the hip hop album and look under the UGK. Maybe it's under there. Lo and behold, it was there. It was there. I said, shh, let me jump on it. I jumped on, grabbed that thing up. Hey, you know, guys, you know, I didn't stay long. I walked up out of it. I said, well, shit, I got everything I need. I ain't need nothing else. I don't need nothing. I'm done. I'm done for the day. Look, I got the 2 albums I came and I'm looking for. I'm gone. Ain't no need spending no more money. I'm done. They got me. They got their allotment for the day. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. Guys, hey, let me say this. I appreciate you guys being here tonight. I promise you I do. Guys, if y'all had an opportunity, Brother JT, man, good to see you, brother. Glad to see you. Glad to be coming by. If y'all ain't had the opportunity to take advantage of the membership, because see, guys, on the membership, I display every album that I buy, I purchase, that I come in. You know what I'm saying? I display that and give y'all like a sneak preview before everybody else get the preview of the album, so they already know what album I got, and of course you obviously gonna get to see it when I make it album of the day of the week. But you know, for the members, they get to see a sneak preview of seeing what albums that I did get, and of course along with my collectibles, my action figures, as well as my Funko Pops. But let me drop the member opportunity so you guys can join the membership. It's not too expensive, right? It's not expensive. I ain't trying to buzz heads. It's pretty reasonable. But do me a favor and join the membership, right? Do me a favor, guys. If y'all haven't had the opportunity, make sure you guys hit that like button. Do that for me. I appreciate that. With that being said, man, I appreciate every last one of you guys being here tonight. You didn't have to. You could be anywhere watching any show when you want to, but you're here tonight with me hanging out. And we talk about music, right? That's always fun. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I like to talk about stuff that kind of break up the monotony, man. I know we like to talk about relationships and this and politics and other things. But, you know, sometimes you got to talk about something other than that, right? And so tonight's show was just an example of what I wanted to do tonight, just to talk about something different other than about relationships. Women ain't shit, men ain't shit, you know, all them other conversations. So I just want to do this tonight, man, just to have a little fun with you guys, man, just share and see what y'all thoughts is as far as music and all that and what y'all like to listen to. Because, you know, I just gave you some examples and samples of what I like to listen to on a regular basis, man. But guys, do me a favor. Just continue to rock with me. And I'm going to continue to try to put out more and more great content. Like I said, I'm going to continue to do that. Join the membership if you haven't had the opportunity to do it. But make sure y'all do me a favor and hit that like button. It's free, guys. It doesn't cost you a thing. Just take a few minutes to hit that like button and do that for you, brother. Right on. Until the next time, I'll catch you.